Hi, welcome to Grace in Motherhood. My name is Roma. I'm so glad that you chose to listen to me today. The purpose of this podcast is to share my experiences with you as a mom of teens. Here you will find faith-filled messages, encouragement for everyday life, and practical advice and tips that have worked for me in raising God-loving children. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let's begin. So we are in part 3 of our emotional healing series. This is the third recording, the third video. So I want to read Acts 9:32 through 35 again. Let me go back to it. So Acts 9:32, meanwhile, Peter traveled from place to place and he came down to visit the believers in the town of Lydda. There he met a man named Aeneas who had been paralyzed and bedridden for 8 years. Peter said to him, Aeneas, Jesus Christ heals you. Get up and roll up your sleeping mat. And he was healed instantly. So today I want to focus on roll up your sleeping mat. When I was reading, this is the sentence or the words that stood out to me. There are many Bible verses, I think many, in the Bible that say that paralytics get this command, get up and roll up your sleeping mat. And that was interesting to me. That caught my attention. Why does he have to tell them to roll up your sleeping mat or pick up your sleeping mat? So I want to read another Bible verse that says the same thing. And all these are in the New Living Translation. Mark 2:11 through 12 says, Jesus was speaking to a paralytic as well. Stand up, pick up your mat, and go home. And the man jumped up, grabbed his mat, and walked out through the stunned onlookers. They were all amazed and praised God, exclaiming, we've never seen anything like this before. Another one is John 5, chapter 5, 8 through 11. Jesus told him, this is the paralytic in the pool of Bethesda. I'm jumping right into when Jesus is telling him. Jesus asked him before also if he wanted to be healed. And he starts giving excuses as to why he hasn't been healed. But Jesus tells him, stand up, pick up your mat and walk. Verse 9, instantly the man was healed. He rolled up his sleeping mat and began walking. But this miracle happened on the Sabbath. So the Jewish leaders objected. They said to the man they said to the man who was cured, you can't work on the Sabbath. The law doesn't allow you to carry that sleeping mat. But he replied, the man who healed me told me, pick up your mat and walk. So here we see how he was obedient to what Jesus told him. He heard Jesus, he believed Jesus, so he acted in faith, which is what I focused on the second part of this healing series, so the second episode, and this is my third one, and now I'm focusing on pick up your mat and walk. But my point in the previous episode was as well action. So we see how Jesus and Peter tells the paralytic, get up and then pick up your mat. So there's two things that they are commanded to do, to take action on. So that is what I want to focus on today as well. The mat, as I was thinking and meditating on this and thinking, why does he tell them to pick up the mat? Is it just because he doesn't want them to leave the mat there lying? He doesn't want them littering? I don't think so. I think every word, and I've heard every word in the Bible is important and is there for a reason. It's not there, for no reason. So the mat, represented their previous condition, what they had been healed of. But now, what I want to say to you as we're talking about emotional and mental healing is, what is it? What I want to ask you is, what is it that represents your condition? I know here we're talking about a paralytic man, but Jesus has healed you. If you have listened to my previous episodes, Jesus has healed you. That is the message that I believe he has given me to share. And with my own testimony, I want you to know that he has healed you and that now you need to act in faith. You need to respond in faith to what he has told you already. He has told you already that you are healed. That emotional turmoil inside of you, your soul and your mind has been healed. Believe it and act in faith. Get up like he said. Get up like Peter said to the paralytic. Get up. That was my previous episode. And now there is something that represents your condition. The condition you're in right now, there is something that represents that. So what is it? The question is, what is it that represents your emotional and mental condition? And what are you going to do with it? So these paralytics had to pick up their mat, and Jesus didn't tell them what to do with them. So I just wonder, what did they do? Maybe they gave it away. Maybe they just kept it as a symbol of their previous life, as a reminder that that was them before, that was their condition, but now they were healed. Now they were not in that same condition. So what I want to project today is, whatever it is that represents the condition that Jesus is telling you that you are healed of, now you need to decide, what are you going to do with whatever it is that represents that condition, that sickness, that emotional turmoil, mental turmoil? What is it that represents that? And let's see, I'm reading my notes. So I think it can represent, yes, your previous condition, but it can also become a reminder, a symbol of God's power in your life. There is something that represents your current condition. You can get rid of it because you're not going to need it anymore. If you believe you have been healed, or if it is possible, you can keep it as a testimony and reminder of the power of God in your life, as a tangible reminder, if it's possible for you to keep it. Or you can also get rid of it. But there is something. My point is that there is something that represents your previous condition. If you do believe that you have been healed, then what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with that thing, that object? I don't want to say what it is because there could be many things. I want to read Joshua. Okay, I want to talk about memorial stones. Like I'm saying, this, whatever it is that is representing your previous condition, you can use it as a memorial stone. Memorial stones, also known as standing stones. I'm reading the Bible Hub online. Or it says, or pillars are significant throughout the biblical narrative as physical markers of divine encounters, covenants, and acts of God. These stones served as tangible reminders for the Israelites and future generations of God's faithfulness, power, and promises. The practice of setting up memorial stones is deeply rooted in the cultural and religious life of ancient Israel, reflecting a profound understanding of memory and worship. Now we're going to read Joshua 4:1. When the Israelites crossed the Jordan, memorials to the Jordan crossing. When all the people had crossed the Jordan, this is Joshua 4, chapter 4, verse 1. When all the people had crossed the Jordan, the Lord said to Joshua, "Now choose 12 men, one from each tribe. Tell them, take 12 stones from the very place where the priests are standing in the middle of the Jordan. Carry them out and pile them up at the place where you will camp tonight." So Joshua called together the 12 men he had chosen, one from each of the tribes of Israel. He told them, "Go into the middle of the Jordan in front of the ark of the Lord your God. Each of you must pick up one stone and carry it out on your shoulder, 12 stones in all, one for each of the 12 tribes of Israel. We will use these stones to build a memorial. In the future, your children will ask you, 'What do these stones mean?' Then you can tell them, 'They remind us that the Jordan River stopped flowing when the ark of the Lord's covenant went across. These stones will stand as a memorial among the people of Israel forever." And so the men did as Joshua had commanded them. So my point today is that whatever that is that represents your previous condition, you can either, I say, get rid of it, or you can keep it as a reminder, obviously for your memory, as a memorial of what God has done for you. Right now, I am getting ready to act on this word as well. For me, it's physical. It's not in my body, but it's physical. It's a physical condition that I want, that God has been speaking to me in that area, that healing is there. Healing is provided by Jesus, has been provided by Jesus. Now I need to act in faith. And there is something that represents that, what I'm believing, that it's already done. There is something that represents it. Now, what am I going to do with it? Am I going to keep it? Am I going to get rid of it? Or, am I going to keep it, and that will become a memorial, a reminder of the previous condition, but also of the power of God for us, for His children. And just as I share this with you, we all need to live out what we believe. We need to live out the Word of God. And we need to choose if we believe it or not. So that is my encouragement for you today, is act on what Jesus is guiding you to do. You obviously need a word from God. You need to know that He is guiding you to do whatever it is that He's guiding you to do. You need to know that you know. There is that saying, right? That you need to know that you know that He is guiding you to do whatever it is that He's guiding you to do. You need to know that it's Him speaking to you. So I know I've been praying about what I'm going to do, and I know that I have heard from Him, and I know that I'm getting guidance from Him. So my advice, my encouragement for you is that you hear from Him and you follow what He guides you. So you do what He tells you to do with that, with whatever it is that represents your previous condition, and that He has told you that you are healed, that you are whole. But if we do believe, then when we believe, when we have faith are going to produce actions. And I think that's all for me today. I am looking at my Bible verses. Yes, I think that's all. So that would conclude my emotional healing series. Thank you so much for listening. I just want to see, is there anything else that I need to say? Like I said, this series is focused on emotional and mental healing, and I really hope that you have been blessed, and that this, if you apply it, helps you to become the mother and not just the mother, but also the woman that God wants you to be, living a full and healed life in every aspect of our lives, in spirit, soul, and body, because that is the abundant life that God has called us to live in Him. We have so many promises. We have so many blessings that He has given us. We just need to receive them, acknowledge them, and receive them, and then live out in faith what He has already given to us. So I think that's all for me today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this episode, don't forget to subscribe so you stay up to date whenever I upload new episodes, and write a review, a comment. Also, if you need prayer, go to seedling.so. I'm not affiliated with them, but I know the founder, and this is a great resource if you need prayer. There will be real people praying for you when you submit your prayer request. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching.